Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another exciting edition of Sports Fellas Daily Update, and we'll be checking out interesting update from the camp of the Super Eagles and some players. Before I proceed with the details of the stories, if you are new on this platform, quickly let's do it together. Subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Let's show love to the platform and video by liking and sharing to other social media platforms. My name is Solomon Kwedu Asante, your only nomenclature with the engineer's philosophy in sports. Your only Ghanaian who has declared his full support for Nigeria sports with a Nigerian name, the only one, Solomon Choko Emeka. Please, let's drop our decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts in my subsequent videos. I'll also be giving out some special shoutouts under this video. And no more straightforward. Let's get into the video and start from the camp of our very own head coach of the Super Eagles, Monsieur Eric Sequichel. He has spoken and decision has finally been made. Eric Sequichel is willing to improve the depth of the Super Eagles team after finishing third at the just ended 2025 AFCON tournament by winning bronze medal. And this is the time he has made decision on certain players. After watching certain players as close quarters of the 2025 AFCON tournament, Eric Sequichel will be excluding certain key players of the Super Eagles team in our subsequent matches. And according to the latest exclusive, suggests that these 5 players, Eric Sequichel, in this rebuilding process of the Super Eagles team, is having the first phase talking of the players that he can rely on, and the second phase, players that he will give them some trials. If they come in and they don't perform, they have to go out there, perform at their respective clubs, and come back into the Super Eagles team. And these 5 players are parts of the second phase. If they don't improve at their club level and don't lure for their services into the Super Eagles team by just catching the eye of Eric Sequichel, then permanently they'll be out of the Super Eagles team. The first player is Zaidu Sanusi. We saw his exploits during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, same as some matches of the Super Eagles even before the AFCON tournament, and even in the first game for the Super Eagles in the 2025 AFCON tournament. He played against Tanzania, and we didn't see the best out of Zaidu Sanusi. There was Bruno Onyemachi, who came in, who became a perfect fit into the left back position of the Super Eagles. With the good news coming in that Ola Aina is fully fit and a player who is very versatile in the fullback of the Super Eagles. Playing as a right back, he can also play as a left back. It's going to be a big problem for Zaidu Sanusi if he doesn't improve in the Super Eagles colours, same as his club side, FC Porto. Away from his side, the second player on my list is Chidera Ejuke. He didn't impress Eric Sequichel in the technical team during the Super Eagles second game of the 2025 AFCON tournament against Tunisia. And this is the time the technical team is seriously scouting players who befit his position. And they've given him some grace period to perform at his club level. If not, exclusively, he will be out of the Super Eagles team. The third player to talk about is Ebenezer Akin Samiru. Before the 2025 AFCON tournament, I spoke about this player that Eric Sequichel tipped him to be his joker, a surprise weapon into the Super Eagles team, same as coming in with that serious advantage going forward for the Super Eagles team. But you and I can tell on this platform that he didn't impress us during the pre-AFCON friendly game against Egypt. And on that note, Eric Sequichel is giving him some grace period. If he doesn't perform and be part of the second phase, it will be very difficult for him to come into the first phase. This is the team that will be playing for the Super Eagles in our subsequent matches. And the next player to talk about is Chidozie Awaziam. We didn't see much of him during the 2025 AFCON tournament, though he had some cameo in the colors of the Super Eagles. But we saw the partnership of Semi Ajayi and that of Igor Owu. And if that's, we didn't see much of him partnering Semi Ajayi. The one we saw was during the pre-AFCON friendly. But if you've seen the partnership between Semi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey, of which we are okay with, we've also seen the partnership between Semi Ajayi and Igbo. Of course, you'll be seeing that one of Igbo Obu and that of Calvin Bassey. Even in the pre-AFCON tournament, we saw their exploits. And if it is, it's going to be very difficult for Chidozie Awaziam to come back into the Super Eagles team if he doesn't improve from his club side. And the next player to talk about is Osman Mohammed. He didn't do anything for the Super Eagles during the 2025 AFCON tournament. Always, I don't even remember the time he had the selection or he was part of our match day squad. He was always seen in the stand. And if this is the time, Eric Sequichel surprisingly added him for the 2025 AFCON tournament. He didn't impress him much, and if it is, then he has to go back, improve from his club side before coming into the first phase of Eric Sequichel rebuilding process of the Super Eagles team. So this is the latest surrounding the Super Eagles team. And let me just add this one, lest I forget. The next international break is the March international break. It is scheduled from the 23rd of March to the 31st of March 2026. Initially, CAF proposed that they needed to start the AFCON qualifiers, talking of the 2027 AFCON qualifiers scheduled to take place in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda somewhere in 2027, June, July. And according to the latest, they rescinded their decision. And the decision now is that they've seeded first to 42nd ranked countries in Africa, meaning they've received bye into the next stage of the AFCON qualifiers. And now from 43rd to 54th, they are going to compete in the prelims. The countries that will qualify will add up to the already 42 seeded countries into the group stage. Talking of September, October, and November. Looking at these 3 months, that is where we'll be playing 6 matches in the AFCON qualifiers for the 2027 AFCON tournament. 2 matches in September, 2 matches in October, and 2 matches in November. As of the Super Eagles, we don't know FIFA decision in next month about our protests challenging the eligibility status of some of the DR Congo players during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers playoff final. And at this gesture, I have a lot of updates to give it to you on this platform in my subsequent updates. There's some confusion between NFF, DR Congo, and FIFA, and I'll try to give you all the exclusive, enlightened one for you to know how the case will be between Nigeria and that of DR Congo. So that is the latest coming in. If you don't play in March, talking of the World Cup qualifiers playoff, Intercontinental one, definitely they'll be coming out with other friendly matches in March so that we boost our energy for September, October, and November 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Away from that, let me talk about this piece of good news coming in from our very own Benjamin Frederick. I really cherish this guy in the colors of the Super Eagles team, especially how he broke into the team during the Unity Cup May 2025. He came into the Super Eagles team during the World Cup qualifiers. He added up, especially in our game against DR Congo, same as our game against Gabon. He showed his exploits within the Super Eagles team. Unfortunately, he got injured, and the injury was quite ambiguous to our standard going into the 2025 AFCON tournaments. But we saw other players who came in, the likes of Bright Osai, Samuel Bruno Onyemechi. They played very well for the Super Eagles, especially at the left back position, right back position, and the center back position of the Super Eagles team. He picked up injury training with his club side, Dundee Football Club, just after Super Eagles versus DR Congo. He has spoken, and exclusively, he has revealed that he is in rehab process, and if everything goes as he has planned, then he will be back in March for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Briefly, let's check out the words of our very own Benjamin Frederick. I am doing well after the surgery, but it's too early to put a timeline on when I will fully return. It's up to the doctors to decide, which I can't help but stay calm for their directive. It's going to stay calm for the directives of the doctors. Like I said, it's all on the doctors, but the timeline you gave is really possible, and hopefully it will all go according to plan by the grace of God. By the grace of God, our very own Benjamin Frederick is saying that if things go as planned, then definitely he's coming back into the Super Eagles team somewhere in March international break. So that is the latest from his camp. Away from that, let me talk about Eric Sequichel and his rebuilding process of the Super Eagles team. Eric Sequichel has compiled lists of players of which he's going to have extensive scrutiny of these players as he's going to scout them before bringing them into the first phase of the Super Eagles team during the March international break. And this is the time he has concluded on one goalkeeper. So subsequently for the Super Eagles in our matches, we'll be having one goalkeeper coming to compete with Adelayi Adebayo, Stanley Nwabali, with the likes of Maduka Okoye, Amos Obasoji, Francis Uzo, and other goalkeepers of the Super Eagles team. I have already spoken about this goalkeeper in the name of Arthur Okonkwo Chukwu Eguze, who plays his club football for Wrexham in the English Championship. He has been cleared by FIFA, and this goalkeeper is ready in the colors of the Super Eagles of Nigeria subsequently in our matches, especially during the 2027 AFCON qualifiers. So that is the latest coming in. Eric Sequichel, as he has compiled this list, he's also looking at outfield players. This time around, he's having his metrics of measurement, and it's coming from how quick these players are, how agile in terms of their aggression on the field of play, how these players can close all the spaces on the field of play for the Super Eagles, even without the ball. And this is the time he's going to scrutinize to get the availability of all these players, testing their ability as his metrics of measurement. So that is the latest surrounding the Super Eagles team and the rebuilding process from our head coach, Monsieur Eric Sequichel. Let me end up this presentation from the camp of our very own Decison-Lookman with his latest transfer update. According to one of the transfer gurus, Fabrizio Romano, he has spoken, and according to his words, he is on the long list of admirers, but the club that is in the pole position for the signature and the service of our very own Decison-Lookman is Spanish La Liga giants Atlético Madrid. At this moment, Decison-Lookman is prioritizing Champions League football. With his exploit this season for Atlanta Castle, we didn't see the best out of him during the start of the Serie A, but he has come back fit into the Super Eagles team, same as come back fit for his club side, Atlanta Castle Bergamo. 18 games across all competitions. He has played all these matches with 3 goals and 3 assists. And with the latest coming in from Fabrizio Romano, they are scouting him. According to other reports, it suggests that all the latest coming in from his move away from Atlanta Castle needed to be orchestrated by the club side who are willing for his signature. Talking of Atlético Madrid. And if they are willing, then they'll be coming in with an amount close or a little bit over 38 million euros. That is the latest coming in. He's ready, though his club side Atlanta wants to leave him during the summer transfer window. But according to Lookman, he wants it now. The time is now, and he wants to leave Atlanta Castle Bergamo. That is the latest surrounding his camp and his latest transfer. Quickly, let's check this one out on our screens about his updates concerning Fabrizio Romano and how he released it. He spoke about him on his official Twitter page, and these are the exact words. Decison-Lookman is a player Atlético Madrid have always admired. Currently, he is focused on the Champions League. You will see what happens from Thursday onwards. So whatever it is, I will keep you updated on this platform regarding our very own Decison-Lookman. So that is the latest surrounding our Super Eagles team in terms of the rebuilding process and some transfer updates surrounding our players. I have a lot of updates to share with you on this platform. So what you have to do is to keep it locked. If you are new on this platform, subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, and my amazing graphic designer, Dominic. The question for the day is, which players do you think Eric Sequichel should bring them out during the March international break? For me, I was preferring a goalkeeper, and this time around, Arthur Okonkwo is out. With the exploits we've seen so far with his club side Wrexham in the championship, there might be a possibility of they competing for just promotion into the English Premier League. That would be a piece of good news. Currently, they sit 6th in the championship, of which, if they're able to do their things right, they'll be competing in the playoff, and definitely they might come out in the English Premier League. Aside that, with almost 29 games, he has considered 38 goals with 7 clean sheets across all competitions. So that is the latest I have to share with you if you are new about his updates on this platform. Before I take a leave of you, let me give special shout out to these amazing commenters. Special shout out to James. I do appreciate your support. And special shout out to my very own Chuku Debi Efienyi. I do appreciate your support. Victor Isan, I do appreciate your support. Ezekiel Orelusi, I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to Olulade Richard, I do appreciate your support. Special shout out to other cherished commenters under my previous video. Subsequently, I will give you special shout outs to all my amazing cherished viewers. Until you meet again, it's bye for now.